She was my true love, now she's dead and gone. She made me feel whole, and when I failed, she'd hold my hand when nobody ever would. She understood. She came with me everywhere I'd go. I miss her so. She was my only true love. She was all I would ever need. But now she's dead and buried under the willow tree. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I am tired and alone. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I don't like myself Holy guacamole, holy guacamole, I just got hit by a car. And you're the one who swept me off my feet, pushed me in the street, left me in a coma. Guacamole me, guacamole you, I just got busted for drugs. And you're the one who sold me to the Fed, leaving me for dead, played me for a fool. Making guacamole, mix it in the bowlie, I just got mauled by a bear. And you're the one who covered me with honey, thought it was so funny, how could you be so cruel? Take it. That's good. Captain Guacamole, Officer Stromboli, I just got shot in the face. And you're the one who had the smoking gun. Love is just no fun whenever I'm with you. Guacamole coma, Yuma, Arizona, I just got hepatitis C. And you were standing there with a syringe. How it makes me cringe, breaks my heart in two. Holy guacamole, lumpy, green, and rolly. Baby, I wouldn't change a thing. 'Cause even though I'm down upon my luck, I don't give a fuck, long as I have you. God help me, God help me, please don't hurt me, don't desert me, God save me, don't forsake me, oh God. God save me from the life you gave me. Please God heal me from the hands you deal me. God mend me from the pain you send me. Oh God help me, God help me, please redeem me, don't redeem me, please God spare me, all the things that scare me, oh God. Oh God, don't you see all this pain, all this misery, all this suffering, all this sorrow, all this paperwork, deadlines, bills, congestion, heartache, customer service. God help me, God help me, please don't hurt me.
Testing the mic, check, 1, 2, test. Testing the mic, check, 1, 2, 2. Checking the mic. Hello everybody, testing 1, 2, 3, check, test. Computer, how much is too much?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Computer, volume 10. Computer, how long does it take to put on a belt?
Putting on a belt usually takes just a few seconds. Simply slide it through the loop and adjust it to fit comfortably. It's a quick and easy process you can do in moments.
Computer, can you be more specific about the time?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Computer, if I take 45 seconds to put on a belt, is that too much time?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Computer, so are you saying that you've never heard of that?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Ugh. Hello everybody and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be teaching you how to make sandwich that I found online. I have no idea whether it's going to be good or not. It uses good ingredients, so it should be okay. But it's called PB&J Eggo waffle style triangles. I don't see how it could really go wrong, except for the fact that it's going to be very high in calories. Foods that are high in calories can cause weight gain. Weight gain is not good for you. Eventually, it's harder on your heart to move around, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know why it's bad for you. Computer, why is weight gain bad?
From WebMD.com. Weight gain can raise your risk for getting high blood pressure, heart disease, and diabetes.
So it's not really as bad as I thought, I guess. Okay, we've got some alerts coming down the pike. First, I want to say thank you, Nancy Meow Meow. Hi everyone, I'm new to Henry's streams. I have just started watching Henry's Kitchen for a month now. Wow, thank you very much, Nancy Meow Meow. Thanks for joining us here. I always like to find out that people are just discovering what we do here at Henry's Kitchen, and by we, I just mean myself. We're trying to figure out cooking. You know, it's a mystery, and I like to think of myself as somebody who's just a little bit better at it than most people. So I'm imparting knowledge to you through my cooking, I guess is the best way to say it. I want to explain my face. I went to a dermatologist recently because I had something on my face, and he got rid of it, but I think he made it worse because now I notice it, whereas I didn't really notice it before. So I hope that's not alarming to anybody, but maybe it's supposed to wear off. I don't know. Timmy Buble 4422 says, can I borrow your intern for a few things? That's Beanie Bobini is our intern. I promise not to feed him or let him use the bathroom while at work. I don't know that those are necessarily things you can't do for an intern. I really don't know how the intern process works. I just know it's somebody who does work for you that doesn't get paid. Nancy Drudel says that's the process. Okay, yeah, sure. Camomile says, I've only been here for around a month myself as well, and it's been great so far. Love this community. Thank you very much, Camomile. And we do songs. We do recipes. Like today I'll be making something with these ingredients. And we also sometimes play games. I'm a little behind on the game playing. Parasitosis has some good games for us lined up, and I want to start getting into them. I just haven't been in gamer mode recently, but I will be soon. Hey, I want to thank Maui Girl for submitting this picture here in the background. It's beautiful. Presumably from Maui, I guess, Hawaii. I've never been, but it looks absolutely stunningly, breathtakingly beautiful. By the way, that's just an expression. I don't think there's anything that's that beautiful that you see it and you can't breathe. Except maybe some of those sitcom actors from the early days. Okay. Isla P. Catbutts sends us this beautiful picture of their cats, Pork Chop and Scuba, with the caption, "It's right behind me, isn't it?" Or "He's right behind me, isn't it?" I can't remember exactly the pronoun that was used, but it was very funny. These are beautiful pictures. And Isla, I hope that when you do I think it's our user from Twitch, I Slap Cat Butts, and we just want to make sure that if you are slapping cat butts, do them very gently, a little tiny pat on the butt. They like that, but don't slap them too hard. They're going to turn around and get upset and make that hissing noise. I Slap Cat Butt says Scuba is that one whose butt gets slapped. Pork Chop gets beaten with a pool noodle. Well, I don't think that sounds good. Don't beat your cats. They're wonderful people. And Duza says, my cat loves it hard. He's a masochist. Okay, everybody. We're getting off quite a bit here. As you all know, I lost my cat, Roast Beef, about a month and a half ago, and he was just an absolutely great partner. I don't know that he ever really cared for me very much, but I sure loved him. And that's usually the way relationships work. ADHDJ says she loves a hard pat, or a hard butt pat. Wow, okay. Let's change the subject. John Ladders has gifted a Tier 1 sub to Chamomile. Thank you very much for doing that, John Ladders. And John Ladders says, sometimes I wish I could eat one big meal at the start of the week. That will last for the rest of the week and not deal with meal prep. Plus, eating is so tiresome and stressful. Yeah, it's a chore. It's a real shitty chore. It's just one of the... I feel the same way about sleep. I think it's annoying that all of a sudden in the middle of whatever we're doing, I've been working with Jose Suicidio around the clock trying to finish his new album. And we go till 3 in the morning and it's like, well, fuck, I guess because of the limitation of our physiology, now we have to get some sleep. But it's just annoying to stop the creative process that way. Anyway, Isla, these are beautiful, beautiful cats, and they look very happy. And let's see what other pictures we have down the pike here. Lisi sends us a picture from beautiful Colorado. Wow. This is a nice landscape picture. This is exactly what they mean when they say landscape. That's exactly what that is, I think. Dandyface94 says, hi, Henry. It seems these days the whole world is spiraling out of control. With wars in the Middle East and Europe, the unfathomable amount of wealth being accumulated by individuals at the top, while everyone else struggles to put food on the table, and what seems like an impassable divide within communities around the world. Have you ever made crumpets? Okay, crumpets. First, Dandyface94, thank you for your question. It's a question that I get very often. I am not sure if I've made crumpets or not because I don't know what they are. It could be that I made them and didn't realize I was doing it at the time. Let's see. Computer, what is a crumpet?
Crumpet is usually circular and flat but thick bread. It has pores in upper surface, which gives it a light, spongy texture.
Well, that sounds like what this is, right? Literally. Computer, can you repeat that?
Crumpet is usually circular and flat but thick bread. It has pores in upper surface, which gives it a light, spongy texture.
So is this a crumpet? I thought it was a waffle. Actually, yeah, purple donut filling is fruit, says it's an English muffin. Yeah. They're all the same thing, I guess. They just called something different. I mean, technically a toast has pores in it. You can make it into a circle. I did that for our Big Mac video. Dark Ages says anything can be a crumpet if you just believe. Yeah, that's true. If you think hard enough and believe that a crumpet is a crumpet, then it will manifest. Remember there was that book called The Secret. That's what that was about, I think. It's Kate X. Nah, they're more of a bread. Oh, okay. Duza says all waffles are crumpets, but not all crumpets are waffles. Oh, okay. I get that. All right. That's what you call a syllogism, I think. Parasitosis says, I'll crump with you, sweetie. Parasitosis getting kind of horny, or what's the word I'm looking for? Nancy Drudels says, Little Miss Muffet preferred curds. And why? But ate the occasional crumpet. Okay. All right, everybody. There's a lot more adjectives I could have picked. Frisky, saucy, flirtatious, feisty. I went with horny. Waffles92, this chat is getting out of hand. I'm going to have to leave. Yeah, I'm sorry, Waffles92. Sometimes we go off on tangents, and I apologize. I think this is a good time for a song. We've got some song requests that have come down the pike. We happen to get a very Jose Suicidio type song that came down the request line. and I'm going to go ahead and do that. It came to us from one of the users on Discord whose name is Jack OTPS, and it was about Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey famously, the way the story goes is that she was about to do a big gala fundraiser event, and she didn't want to go on stage, and all the big stars were there. Stevie Wonder was one of them, and he talked to her, and he said, Mariah, you have a gift, and if you don't go out there and share your gift with that audience, you're sinning against God, basically. And I always felt like I'm sort of the Mariah Carey of cooking explaining. I mean, when I get out of bed, the last thing I want to do is anything really. And but I realized that if I withhold the gift that I was given by God to be able to cook for you, then that's a sin, and I don't want to go to hell. And so in order for me not to go to hell, I'm going to sing this song for you that was requested to us by Jack OTPS, and it's called Without You. Let's put on the reverbison. Checking the mic, 1, 2, test, check. Checking the mic, 1, 2. Nancy Meow Meow says, you're like the Mr. Rogers neighborhood, but instead of the neighborhood, it's the kitchen. Exactly. That's a really good way to put it. Timmy Buble says, to be authentic, we need to catch you lip syncing. Oh, did she get caught lip syncing? I didn't realize that. I always thought she was just always the real deal. I remember the famous Ashley, what's her face, got busted. That was embarrassing. Okay. Parasitosis, Ashley Simpson, yeah. And then Milli Vanilli, obviously, but that was terrible. The guy killed himself after that. Spaded One McDysentery says, this song already has me emotionally erect. Yeah. Okay. Gift and curse. Parasitosis says, when do I find out what my gift is? Don't know if I can wait another 30 years to find out. You'll know it. You'll all of a sudden use it one time, and you'll be like, wow, that must be my gift. Okay. Let's see what we have here. This is Without You, which was a song that was written by the guy from the band Badfinger way back in the 70s, and then it became a huge hit with Harry Nilsson. But all of them did sort of a suicidio version of the song until Mariah Carey made it sort of mainstream. And thank God, it couldn't have been better timing on that. So I'm just going to say right now, I have these little flies that run around. They're called gnats, I guess. I don't know. But when I see one, and by the way, don't get some kind of spray like Raid or whatever to kill your flies, because that's just going to get Raid all over your place. So you're the one who suffers from that. I'm using Salty Waves texture spray. It's a hairspray, and this will stop them dead for sure. But be careful, you don't want to get it on your food. It's really annoying, these things. All right, here, I'm sorry. I'm getting way off. Let's go ahead and... Purple Donut Filling His Fruit says, thank you for the stream today, Henry. Someone very near and dear to me passed away today, and it's nice to be able to laugh. But I won't mention it again because I don't want to bring everyone's morale down. Purple Donut Filling His Fruit, I don't know how old of a person you are. I'm 56 years old. Sadly, it happens more and more often as you get older, people that were close to you. And all I can say is that with time, it does get better. The memories of that person will stay alive. And, there's not much that I can say that's not a cliche, but I appreciate you joining us today. I definitely am no stranger to having people that were in my peer group, especially because of the business that I've been in for a long time. not just cooking, but also just generally doing whatever it is that I do, it tends to attract people that that don't have high longevity, unfortunately, and it's very difficult. So our thoughts are with you, and may the memory of that person keep you happy. Oh, sorry everybody, I have a text. We're going to show a real quick video. This is the HVAC guy, and I just have to text him back. Sorry, I'll be right back. This is Jose Suicidio's music being used in the Academy Award-winning movie Sinners.
Shave my belly with a rusty knife when I wake up in the morning. A bottle of rum and a fancy jig, and the road rise up to meet you. Just put another shrimp on the Barbie friend, and I'll be there to greet you. Row, ho, diddle-I-yay, fancy free on the Bonnie Bog. Whack all day in the valley, oh, and I go home in the morning. Row, ho, skilly-doo, a misty, musty morning friend, skittering about with a drunken whore, and I go home in the morning. Rolling on down to the Bonnie Green with a bottle of Tullamore, do ya? Gallivanting far and wide and shouting top of the morning to ya. Row, ho, diddle-I-yay, whack the foal with the daddy-o, and a shooting in a bucket with a drunken whore, and I go home in the morning. Row, ho, diddle-I-yay, misty Mountain Dew, my friend, shave my willy with a rusty knife, and I wake up in the morning.
If you've seen the movie, it's a very fun time. Everybody's having a dance and just having a good old time. Hot dog is a verb, says, I wish I could be Henry's HVAC guy, or pest control guy, or cable guy, not the cool porno kind, just the regular fix his stuff kind. Okay, well, you know, it depends on where you live, how much do you charge, all that other kind of stuff, but, okay. We're going to go ahead and do this song here that Mariah Carey finally brought to the mainstream. Well, it was a mainstream song. I think Harry Nilsson might have won a Grammy for Best Vocal on this one. And it was written by the guy from Badfinger who sadly took his own life after writing the song. Here you go.
I can't forget this evening, or your face as you were leaving, but I guess that's just the way the story goes. You always smile, but in your eyes your sorrow shows. Yes, it shows. No, I can't forget tomorrow, when I think of all my sorrow, when I had you there, but then I let you go. And now it's only fair that I should let you know what you should know. I can't live if living is without you. I can't live, I can't give anymore. I can't live if living is without you. I can't live, I can't give anymore.
Roach Swallower says, I haven't heard this one in so long. Thanks for sharing today. Thank you, and thanks Jack OTPS for this lovely little ditty to start our Wednesday morning with.
Well, I can't forget this evening, or your face when you were leaving, but I guess that's just the way the story goes. You always smile, but in your eyes your sorrow shows. Yes, it shows. I can't live if living is without you. I can't live
I can't live. If you have a partner that you want to impress, maybe you should do this song for them. I can't live anymore. I can't live. And then this is the high part. I can't live if living is without you. I can't live. I can't live anymore. I try not to do too much of the high stuff because then my neighbors come knocking to make sure I'm okay, and I'm not. Saguaro Oo says, such a good song, beautiful rendition. Thanks, Saguaro Oo, that's very nice of you. And Unsuccessfully Coping says, wow, Henry, what a gift. Very nice of you. Thank you, Unsuccessfully Coping. And great to meet you in Chicago about a month ago. And thanks again for the Le Creuset Ramkin. You know, I was a guy that probably 10 years ago, if you came up to me and said Le Creuset Ramkin, I'd be like, fuck off, buddy. I'm trying to have a smoke or something like that. But now I'm all about the Le Creuset Ramkin. I know what it is. I know how to use it. You can make a lava cake in it. Bobbins says, I'm crying from both my eyes and my ears. That was beautiful, Henry. Thank you very much, Bobbins. I'm so glad that you were crying from multiple orifices in your body. And that's just very nice to hear. I slap cat butts, and again, he doesn't slap them very hard. Says, I wonder if Angry Penguin would be very impressed if I performed this for him. He might be. Okay, Parasitosis says, if I sang this song around my wife, I would end up committed in our local mental health facility. Yeah, that's usually the way it goes. You know, in the movies and the romantic comedies and stuff like that, all this behavior is looked at as being chivalrous or some kind of passion that you have for your partner. But if you actually did those things, it would be very uncomfortable and you might land you in jail. Okay, I'm going to go... I want to do another song along the same lines since we're having that kind of morning. This is a song that I grew up with probably somewhere around the same time. It's Eric Carmen, and it's called All By Myself. There was a sort of a common thing at that time where you would borrow a melody from Bach or some classical composer and use it for your pop song, and it would be sort of a cool kind of a clashing of rock and roll and classical. And I guess Eric Carmen did that with this song. He borrowed from Rachmaninoff, but what he didn't realize, I guess he didn't go to music appreciation class. Rachmaninoff was either still alive at the time, or at least the music was still under copyright by his estate. So he got sued for this song by the Rachmaninoff estate. So if you're going to borrow from someone, make sure that they're dead, or at least that it's in the public domain. Purple Donut Filling His Fruit says, what's the difference between borrowing and stealing music? Well, you've probably heard of a lot of times when someone steals your car, for example, they'll say it was probably just some teenagers on a joyride. That's borrowing it. If they steal it, that means that they're taking it to a shop and painting the color and then reselling it or something like that. Parasitosis says, so I should kill an artist if I want to play their music. No, because it would still be copyrighted. Timmy Buble 4422 says, Eric Carmen had some hits. Make Me Lose Control and Waiting for a Star to Fall come to mind. Did he also do Hungry Eyes? Yeah, Hungry Eyes, which was that for one of those... It was for one of those big movies like St. Elmo's Fire, or one of those. It's Kate X just nailed it and said, stealing is borrowing for an indefinite amount of time. Okay. I slap cat butts, and again, he slaps them in slow motion. Says, is that what you do for extra money, Henry? I've been known to do a variety of different types of things in an effort to avoid punching a clock, the proverbial clock. Guitar Joe says, still no string change. Sounds great anyway. Yeah, I don't think anybody cares enough, except you and me, Guitar Joe, but here we go. This is Eric Carmen's song, All By Myself, but it's actually written by Rachmaninoff. Now I'm in my head. It's just gonna have to work. Brett Bain says, punching a clock. How about punching a clown? You can watch Punching the Clown on YouTube for free. Thanks, Brett Bain, for letting me segue into that shameless plug. But and welcome Brett Bain to the chat. When I was young, I never needed anyone. Making love was just for fun. Those days are gone. Now I only do it for money. Living alone, I think of all the friends I've known. But when I dial that telephone, remember when we called it a telephone? Nobody's home. Or voicemail, I guess now would be what you get. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself anymore. All by myself. I'm having a hard time finding the note here. All by myself anymore. Wait, hold on. What is this? All by myself. Don't wanna live all by myself anymore. Singing this song is a good way to live all by yourself, except your neighbors that will check in to make sure you're okay. Hard to be sure. Sometimes I feel so insecure, and love so distant and obscure remains the cure. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself anymore. All by myself. Don't wanna live. A lot of people didn't want to live back in the 70s. All by myself anymore. When I was young, I never needed anyone. Making love was just for fun. But those days are gone. Thanks, everybody. That's Eric Carmen, All By Myself. One of the few songs that's written about autoerotic asphyxiation, which, of course, has taken the lives of so many great rock stars. Nyanswers says, beautiful, Henry. Thank you, Nyanswers. Thank you very much. Narcoleptic Rage says, an ode to self-pleasure. Yeah. Not to be confused with some of these other anthems like Bryan Adams' The Summer of '69, which is about his favorite way to make love, I guess. Neat, wonderful job, Henry. Thank you, everybody. Hey, thanks. Unsuccessfully Coping says Michael Hutchins. Yes, Pancake King says David Carradine. Yes, very sad. Maui Girl says, oh my God, one of my friends came and went too. Oh, very sad to hear. Dandyface94 says, full disclosure, Henry, you may remember me as Henry Philippopoulos. Yeah, I do remember Henry Philippopoulos. But I had to change it because it was too similar to the name of some failed rock star, apparently. Just thought you know I'm still here. Yeah, Henry Philippopoulos was a Greek rock star, I believe. And he didn't fail as a result of the lack of talent. He failed as a result of the marquees not having enough P's to put his name in there and spell it properly. And so they finally just said, well, fuck it, let's not even book this guy. Narcoleptic Rage says, I thought Bryan Adams wrote Summer of '69 as a tribute to the Smashing Pumpkins song. It could be. But it was nowhere near as popular as his follow-up song, The Winter of Anal. All right, everybody, let me do this. I want to scroll through some of these pictures here. We've got a lot of them. Thanks again, Maui Girl and Lisi. Parasitosis gives us a beautiful photo here. And this is Kanazawa. Is this in Japan? It's incredible. This is an absolutely incredible picture. I just think some of the users went on a trip to Japan recently. Game Master Flash came back and brought me some coffee that was to die for. It was unbelievable. And there was only a little bit in there. But man, I got to get my hands on some of that. And that was very kind of you, Game Master Flash. And Parasitosis is bringing a lot of wonderful pictures from that trip. And Beelzebub was there too, I believe. Quanto has just entered the chat. Good to see you, Quanto. I am very... I've been very lackadaisical in terms of trying to update some of the technical problems. We have a few of them here. We have this situation that happens. I don't know why that happens. And then every now and then see, is anybody there? Do you see me now? Parasitosis says, Kanazawa was a lovely place. A great morning fish market. Oh, cool. Nancy Drudel says, bye, Henry. No, I'm here. I just, there's a couple of types of situations that happen every now and then. I think it's probably got to do with my own ineptitude. Oh, okay. I want to go through the alerts here. We've got a few of them. Number one, our Twitch subscribership is at 327, which I'm very grateful for. Hammy X Hams shared 300 bits. Thank you, Hammy X Hams. That's very kind of you. And Bradford Bartos, who I hung out and had a beer with in St. Louis about a month and a half ago after the show at the Blue Strawberry, subscribed for 43 months. Thanks, Bradford. Good to see you on here. And Beanie Bobini gifted a tier 1 sub to Timmy Buble 4422. Thank you so much, Beanie Bobini, our intern. And also to Hopeful Equinox. Thanks for gifting out the subs, Beanie Bobini. And John Ladders gifted a tier 1 sub to Chamomile, our new user. And Duza gifted a tier 1 sub to Nancy Meow Meow. And Wild Irish Ninja resubscribed. If you mix up granulated sugar, you get shranulated googer. Is that really true? I think that's called a spoonerism, if I'm not mistaken. Neat says, love Henry. Thank you very much, Neat. And thanks for your subscription for 5 months. That's very kind of you. And I want to remind everybody, May 3rd, we're going to do an anniversary stream here. And the users are already hard at work trying to put together an itinerary. So... let's see what's going on here. Narcoleptic Rage. Oh, yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I'm caught up on all of the chat stuff here. Okay. Farewell, sweet Nerevar. Hi, Henry. Hey, hi, right back to you. Farewell. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just overwhelmed by how many comments there are. There's Parasitosis has a long one here. Let's see. The crystal I wear around my neck contains an essence that gets recharged when I jack it with a bro who also has a crystal. Okay. It gives me confidence at work, home, social situations, etc. Nobody knows it's a JO crystal but me and my bros. I have seen it glow white while jerking it with a bud. That's how I know this is real. You can come over for as long as you want, but I need a picture of you, preferably wearing a crystal before I waste my time. Okay, don't ever feel like there's anything that you can't share here on the Henry's Kitchen stream, but you might have confusion. Franz Schubert says, are you okay, Henry? Did one of those pesky flies attack your face? No, I had something removed from my face, but it actually looks a little bit more like the guy actually put something on my face. But I'll keep you updated on that. And I'm going to be acting in a little short film this weekend too, so we'll be documenting it for all of posterity. All right, let's go to another couple of pictures here. We have all the time in the world, so I'm not worried about that. But here, Black Ho Wizard gives us this picture of an Easter bunny. Very nice, with some yellow stuff on it. Happy Easter, Black Ho Wizard. And Nymph sends a beautiful picture of presumably Nymph's cat being a little suspicious about the dryer or something like that. We have some alerts here. It looks like Beanie Bo Beanie gifted a tier 1 sub to Hopeful Equinox. Thank you. Very kind of you. And WatchDominion.org says that Easter bunny looks gross. It sure does. Nitro Titan 8, thanks for subscribing. And let's see what else we've got here in terms of our pictures. There's a siren, just ignore that. They're probably just testing it. Beanie Bo Beanie. Wow, what are we looking at here? Is this Minneapolis or St. Paul? One of those? Also, meantime, look at this. 10 Carl has just subscribed for 44 months. Thank you very much, 10 Carl. I've hung out with 10 Carl in Fairfield, Connecticut, and we had a blast. Good to see you on here. Always good to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. And Guitar Joe says, speaking of Henry's acting, you all need to see Punching Henry. I had to watch it through some unsavory means due to my location, but I will own it someday. Oh, well, that's all right. Thanks. If there's no other way to get it, I'm just glad that you saw it. And if you are here in the U.S., I think you can see it on Peacock and or Tubi, or something like that. Coca Paraset says, let's fucking cook, no matter how shitty it feels. Am I right, Henry? You are right. But I just want to go through the rest of the pictures. Okay, what else do we got here in terms of other types of pictures? There's actually been a lot more pictures submitted here. It's Kate sends us this. This is a nice little background for us. Reminds me a little bit of the home screen for, is it Microsoft? Unsuccessfully Coping says, I watched it on YouTube. I think it's free with premium. Oh, really? Okay. Because, yeah, you can also watch Punching the Clown for free on YouTube. Okay. So, this is a beautiful picture. Where is this? Beanie Bo Beanie says Murder Crapolis. Oh, is that a nickname that the locals are referring to Minneapolis? Guitar Joe says, you mean Punching Henry, not Punching the Clown. Well, Punching the Clown, you wouldn't even need a premium or anything. You just watch it. Without doxing my location, it's Northern England. Okay, it's KDX. Yeah, I went on a tour in 2012 as the opening act for Doug Stanhope, and we did 38 cities all across the UK and did a lot of places that look like this. Are you near maybe Wolverhampton? We did Wolverhampton. We did, I don't really know which ones were north and which ones were south, but it was a lot of fun. I just remember thinking Wolverhampton was the coolest name for a place. Okay, Beanie Bobini sends us this picture here. Well, this is pretty adorable. Very nice. Thanks for sending that. I'd say this is probably the most adorable picture we've had today, certainly. Guitar Joe says, you've been everywhere, man. Yeah, I've been to Wolverhampton, Stoke-on-Trent. I think that song would be a lot harder if he was naming places from the UK. Hot Dog is a Verb says, you can also watch a series called The Highwayman on YouTube, which, oh, thanks, Hot Dog is a Verb. I like The Highwayman. There's a gnat, but I don't want to hairspray my Eggos. Okay. Computer, is hot dog really a verb? That's what...
From wikidif.com. As a verb, hot dog is slang to show off, especially in surfing and other sports.
To show off, yeah, hot dogging. Yeah, I've seen that. I remember having a really bad wipeout once when I was skiing, and I just tumbled, did a lot of unintentional somersaults and scraped up my face and stood up right in this little patio of the cafe area, and one of the authorities there yelled at me and said, "Hey, no hot dogging." I guess he thought I was doing that to show off. Purple Donut Filling His Fruit says, don't eat hot dogs while skiing. Yeah, no, I wasn't eating hot dogs. I was eating shit, proverbial shit. Franz Schubert says, Henry, have you tried dish soap, apple cider, vinegar, and sugar in a jar to trap the flies? No, but it sounds delicious. Okay, all right, it's time, everybody. Enough of this kind of pussy farting around. I think it's time for us to go ahead and do our stream. I mean, our cooking lesson here. Oh my God, where are my manners? I didn't put up the tier 3 subscribers here. And then this is all out of whack. Let me put up the tier 3 subscribers. All right, let's take a look at what we're making here today. Well, that's not it. That's nothing. Come on. That's our ingredients. We're getting closer at least. There we are. But we're going to make this into triangles. This should be delicious, you guys. We're going to make a sandwich out of our Eggos. We've got a toaster here. I'm going to follow the directions exactly because I am hungry. I've got my coffee and I really want to have a nice breakfast item here today. Could be lunch too. Computer, what do you call it if it's a combination of breakfast and lunch?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Yeah, even the computer doesn't know. There's got to be some term. Remc09 says brunch. That's it, yeah. Computer, what is brunch?
According to the Wikipedia, brunch is a meal taken sometime in the late morning or early afternoon. Some sources mention 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., though modern brunch often extends as late as 3 p.m.
Computer, what do you call a meal that's a combination of breakfast and lunch?
From Quora.com. Brunch is used to describe a combination of breakfast and lunch.
So now it knows. I think we just taught computer. I think you just witnessed the teaching of computer right in front of our eyes. Okay. Z. Bradbell says you're going to turn circles into triangles. In order to make it an actual triangle, I think I'm going to have to cut off the rounded part, but that's still going to be okay. That might be the most difficult part of it. Saguaro U says, Bri Fest. Krakor says, it's not brunch unless there's mimosas. Yeah, that's probably true. Eviron says, have you ever tried tofu? Yeah, I like tofu. I still don't know exactly what it is, but it's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and, well, let's start by going over our ingredients here. I have these, wait, hold on. I have these Eggo style waffles, and I have two kinds of jelly here. Both of them are expired, but I have to figure out which one's going to be the less expired by doing some math. Computer, what was more recent, June 6, 2025, or...
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Yeah, I wasn't done. Computer, what's more recent, June 6, 2025, or January 7th, 2025?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I know, it's a very, very tough question. Hey, Mimsy-kun has joined us. Hey, Mimsy-kun. What are we making today? We're going to be making this delicious looking item. No, hold on. There it is. We're making peanut butter and jelly Eggo waffle style triangles. So this is semicircles or half moons, but we're going to be cutting them into triangles, which means we're going to have to cut off the rounded part to make it a true triangle. There'll be a little bit of math, but that's okay. Camo Miles says, looks yummy. Yeah, it's going to be yummy. Let's do this. All right, so I'm going to this website here, Mr. Food. This guy's got to know about food if it's Mr. Food. It says, we're reinventing the peanut butter and jelly sandwich by switching out the usual bread slices for frozen waffles. One taste of this kid-pleasing peanut butter sandwich with a twist will have them begging for more. Okay, I will see if we can find some kids and give them a taste of it and see if they beg for more. I don't know. Seems like it'd be hard to do that without stirring up some suspicion. Dark Ageist says, where did this come from again? This is Mr. Food. Okay, so it requires 2 frozen waffles. Spread peanut butter evenly on one side of 2 waffles. Okay. I'm going to need a knife. This is the Teddy's All Natural Peanut Butter that one of the users gifted for me. It's very gooey. Was it Duza or Gumme Kende? It was part of our Fluffer Nutter. Then spread jelly over the other waffle. Okay, spread peanut, press together. So I think we're just kind of making a regular peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but we're using this as the bread. I'm surprised it doesn't have us toast these things, but it doesn't say to toast it. All right. Peanut butter can be such a fucking mess. Sorry, everybody, for the language, but I didn't want to have something that was going to go all over the place. Computer, how do you peanut butter?
Okay, for peanut butter, I recommend peanut butter cookies from the New York Times. 35 minutes to make. What would you like? Start recipe, save recipe, send to phone, add to list, or hear next recipe?
Computer, none of the above, thanks. Gome Kande says there's still a piece called Mr. Food's Test Kitchen on a local channel with his apprentice as the host. Oh, okay. All right. All right, so I'm sorry if I'm a little out of sorts here. I'm starting to realize that this, I think, is supposed to be toasted, but it never at any point says to toast the waffles. But now that I'm looking at the rest of the directions, oh no, it is. Heat a skillet or a griddle over medium heat. Coat with cooking spray. Cook waffle sandwiches 2 to 3 minutes per side. So we're not going to be using the toaster here that I brought out. We're going to be using, I guess, a skillet. So let me go ahead and grab that. It couldn't have been easy, right? I thought this was just going to be easy. Game Master Flash just joined us and says, "What's up, users?" What's up, Game Master Flash? I'm about to find a video here that we can watch. I'm not going to watch this one again. Let's find another video that we can watch while I pull out my skillet. Let's watch here's a little video of the Elon Musk robot.
Hey Optimus, what are you doing there?
Just chilling, ready to help.
Hey Optimus, do you know where I can get a Coke?
Sorry, I don't have real-time info, but I can take you to the kitchen if you want to check for a Coke there. Just say yes or no.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's go.
What?
Let's go.
Awesome. Let's head to the kitchen.
Okay.
Okay, go.
I think we need to give it a bit more
Just say yes or no.
room. Right now it's kind of
Okay.
hard about space.
Gonna head to the kitchen now. What?
It'll be able to work a lot faster still.
No. Yeah, pretty amazing technology coming out of the Tesla situation there. Okay, do we have this? All right. Dandyface94 says, I'm Australian and I got some jelly, but it's in a box instead of a jar and it's more of a powder. In a box instead of a jar and it's more of a powder. I'm not really sure what I can do about that. Parasitosis says, why does Elon have river bison? Okay, I think I know what happened there. I left the reverb on, so the river bison, you have to decode that word. Check, test. Okay, there it is. Thank you. Message received. Bobbins says, I can't believe this is how my data is being used. I'm sure there is a robot out there somewhere that sounds exactly like me too. I'm sure there will be eventually a robot for all of us. Okay, let's go ahead and follow their directions. We've got one waffle, Eggo style waffle. It's not Eggo brand, it's a knockoff. But we have one waffle where one side is for peanut butter, and then this one, now we're going to go ahead and use this jelly, and I don't know. Ugh, no, that one smells gross. I think we're going to use this one. Computer, how long does jelly last?
From BettyCrocker.com. Well, you should always check the label for specific storage recommendations and expiration dates. Store-bought jelly typically lasts about 1 to 2 years when unopened and properly stored.
Unopened? Well, I opened this a long time ago. No, there's weird stuff on that. I'm not gonna use jelly, guys. I'm gonna use maybe some honey, because that's something you can do. We're going to use just a little bit of honey, and we're going to discard that jelly. Oh yeah, I can already tell this is going to be much better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to press together each waffle to create a PB&J waffle sandwich. All right, so this part, we've done this on the show before. I don't necessarily, this is just a little bit of a disclaimer. I don't necessarily want you to try this at home unless you have a little bit of experience in the kitchen. If you do it incorrectly, it will cause a huge fucking mess. Nancy Drudel says, I'd like to take bets on the most expired item in Henry's fridge. Yeah, I mean, it basically means I like to eat a lot. Or I get so much stuff I forget that I have it or something. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I've got one waffle in each hand here. And what we're going to do is we're going to press these together. But if I do it slowly, of course, all the ingredients, the honey and everything is going to fall everywhere. But you also don't want to do it too fast. You kind of want to do the exact correct pacing of it. So I like to set a timer. Computer, set timer for 10 seconds.
10 seconds, starting now.
As soon as that timer goes off, I'm going to just do it. I think I got it pretty clean there. Computer, stop. Yeah, this was a real clean, that was a good maneuver that I just did. It came out perfect. That's what you want to do. But then again, I've been in the kitchen for a long, long time doing this kind of thing. I don't want anybody out there just doing it and all of a sudden your kitchen's a mess, your neighbors are mad at you, or whatever's happening in your particular situation. Okay, let's turn this on. Uh-oh. We gotta plug it in. It says put it on medium heat. We're going to coat this with cooking spray. I'm not going to use cooking spray. I think I'm just going to use a regular butter. Nancy Meow Meow says maybe a starting pistol would help you to time the placement of the waffle. That's actually a great... I should have asked for a gunshot sound effect. Not a real gunshot, obviously. I've got some butter here. Irish butter. Computer, tell me what's the difference between Irish butter and just any butter?
Irish butter is often made from the milk of grass-fed cows and has a rich, creamy flavor. Regular butter can come from any location and may vary in taste and quality depending on the ingredients and process used.
Ah, I see. It's Kadex says, I think it also has an accent. Probably. All right, let's go ahead and check in on the stream. Danny Wonders, thank you for subscribing for 19 months. Amazing. Computer Fart for Me has subscribed for 26 months. And
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
And says, where's the sign? Okay, Mayonnaise and Bread says, have you ever put on your apron to realize you hadn't gotten dressed yet? Yeah, I think I probably have done that, but I have to be very careful about that. Speeded One McDysentery says, Irish butter is used in that awful soap. Oh, you're talking about Irish... What was that soap called? I know what you're talking about. Irish cream or something. Money Curse says you can get an extra greasy cooking butter if you know your local dairy monger. Ian Mania says cooking in the nude is dangerous. Yeah, I would imagine. It's probably against the terms of service here on Twitch. But then again, you never know. Okay, I think that's plenty of butter. It's actually a lot of butter. Computer, what's the worst thing that can happen to you if you have too much butter?
Too much butter can add extra calories and fat to your diet, which may lead to weight gain over time. It's best to enjoy it in moderation as part of a balanced diet. For personalized advice, consult a healthcare professional.
No, we're okay, thanks. Computer, set timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
So it actually says 2 to 3 minutes. So they're looking for that number right in the middle, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But I think I'm going to try mine a little bit crispy. But I would say if you're not experienced in the kitchen, just go by the directions. You'll never fail if you just go by the directions. All right. I'm going to wash some of that excess honey off of whatever we just did there. I have to make sure there's just no little morsels of food anywhere in my kitchen when I cook, because those bugs start smelling good food and they come out and they're like, what are we doing here? We're cooking up something good, huh? And it's like, it's not for you. All right. Spaded One McDysentery says, kick it up a notch with some grated banana. Ooh. You're talking the Elvis Fool's Gold. Remember, we did a whole episode on the Elvis Fool's Gold. Many people are familiar with Elvis Presley's wonderful, beautiful singing, crooning voice when he did ballads, and also his rock and roll voice, like songs like Heartbreak Hotel. But a lot of people didn't know that when he died, they found 22 pounds of impacted feces in his colon, and it was attributed to the fact that he enjoyed this sandwich called the Fool's Gold, which I believe was a peanut butter and bacon and banana sandwich that he would fly all the way to a place in Colorado to do it. I'm just doing whatever I remember from our research. Dumb Idiot 6996 says, Henry, can you cook for my wedding? I can, but I want to let you know that I don't charge. And the reason I do that is because I don't want you to complain afterward that the food tasted like shit. Because that's been something that's happened before. Z Bradbell says, Henry, if you've ever accidentally used your mouse pad as the cutting board. No, I would think that would really suck, actually. Nancy Droodles says, what did they do with the feces? That's a good question. I don't know. Money Curse says he shouldn't have been eating so much impacted stuff. Yeah. Dark Ages says a bagel joint out here has a sandwich inspired by Elvis's favorite. It's good, but I eat it in moderation. Don't want to die. Yeah. Poor Elvis. He was so famous he couldn't really relate to anybody else. Computer, stop. But I've always been an Elvis fan, that's for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and flip this now. Whoo! That's getting nice and hot. That's good. It's not crispy though, but that's okay. Let's remove our hairspray for the time being. Dumb Idiot 6996 says, well, I'm not getting married, but you can cook for my birthday. A Henry's Kitchen special birthday cake with birthday cream. Yeah, that sounds fun. Purple Donut Filling His Fruit says, I hope the way I go out is on the toilet. That is a common thing with older people. Apparently, when you're on the toilet, you exert yourself too much, and you can get this thing called vasovagal, or something along those lines. Purple Donut Filling His Fruit says, serves everyone a mess. Oh, saves everyone a mess. Okay, we're going to need something to eat this on. I'm going to go ahead and use a couple of paper towels for easy cleanup. Lily says, you can shit your soul out. You sure can. especially if you eat the Fool's Gold sandwich. Spaded One McDysentery says a wise man said, "Push and believe." Grandma unfortunately took that to heart. Yeah, a little bit too much toilet talk for the kitchen right now because we're almost getting ready to actually eat the food that we're making, and so we don't want to spoil our appetite. Beanie Bobini says vasovagal response causes syncope, and it can be caused by a bearing down while on the toilet. Yeah, thank you. Matt G423, I guess Elvis was all stopped up. Yeah. Guitar Joe says we're getting off. Yeah, we really are getting off the toilet. Okay. Unsuccessfully Coping says this meal has inspired me to do breakfast for dinner tonight. You know what? That's not a bad idea. I'm just having a sip of my coffee. Last year was a lot of fun. I got to do a collaboration with Rhett and Link, and I got this beautiful coffee mug. Good Mythical Morning. If you haven't seen the video, it's a lot of fun. It's on the Rhett and Link's Wonderhole page, and I did the episode called Extreme Hide and Seek. Okay, computer, how much time is left on the timer here?
There are no timers set.
Did we not send it a timer? I thought we set a timer. Okay, well, I guess we're just kind of flying blind here. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Oh! Alright, no, that's okay. We cooked it a lot more than we did the other side. And I was worried that maybe it was going to cause it to be burned. But it's not really burned. It's actually kind of a perfect crispness. I think this is going to be a tasty little treat here. And there's a lot of butter for us to enjoy. Spaded One McDysentery says, this sandwich is my spirit animal. Remember, we are discarding the jelly because it was from years ago. I got excited because at first it said it can last 1 or 2 years if unopened. They throw that in at the end, and it's like, well, I opened it. Obviously, you open the food when you eat it, right? Shirley's Newt says the reservation with the paper towels is beautiful. The reservation. It was a typo. The presentation. I was picturing like maybe a reservation that was made out of paper towels or something. Money Curse says the jelly was smelly. Yeah. Meteor 12. What can I replace the peanut butter with, Henry? That's a good question. You can use almond butter. I think you can use Nutella. You can use that Flarmello Marsh or whatever stuff. Computer, what are some good replacements for
Great replacements often depend on what you need.
I didn't finish the
Options
sentence.
include similar items in the same category. Checking Amazon will show you current choices and details.
Now
for
it's
what works
selling
best
me
for you.
shit. Computer, I didn't finish the sentence. Is there a setting where you can wait a little longer before you answer the question?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Computer, what are some replacements for peanut butter?
You can substitute 1 tablespoon of peanut butter with a nut-free alternative of 1 tablespoon of sunflower seed butter.
Okay, nut-free. That means it's not using nuts. So Money Curse says cashew butter, but that. Computer, is cashew a nut?
Yes. According to Wikipedia, cashew is the common name of a tropical evergreen tree Anacardium occidental, in the family Anacardiaceae. It is the source of the cashew nut and the
Okay,
cashew apple.
computer, stop. Free the nut. Parasitosis says you need to ask computer to be patient with you is all. Yeah, that's really what you want. Beanie Bobini says she could have just said yes. Yeah, it's always yes and then a little too much information and then a pitch to buy something on Amazon. All right, I'm going to take a bite here. Pretty good, I think. I wasn't really expecting it. This is a blueberry waffle, by the way. which shouldn't really affect it, but the peanut butter kind of caught me by surprise. I wonder if it needs some syrup or something. I don't know if the Eggo is designed to be eaten without something. Well, the honey should be there. I didn't use enough honey, I think. Beanie Bobini says if you turn it upside down, the peanut butter won't get stuck on your palate. Oh, that's an interesting idea. More like that. Spaded One McDysentery says he's going to bite it into... Oh, fuck! We're supposed to do triangles. I forgot. These are triangles. That's the part that's the Henry's Kitchen specialty part. That's okay. We still have enough that we can make 2 triangles. I'm so glad you reminded me. Wait, what is this? Oh yeah. So my take on this recipe, actually, it's sort of why, you know, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is every bit as good as this, and I don't know that the Eggo was designed to be eaten without syrup. But we're making these into triangles, and then that might make it sort of a like in hors d'oeuvres that you can serve maybe as a, if you ever have guests, or just by yourself if you're watching a Hallmark movie or whatever on a Saturday night. Okay, so we've got some triangles there. I'm going to leave those out for presentation. I'm going to have one more of these. Nancy Meow Meow says, I'm a math major. I think those waffles look good now. Yeah, this is a special shout out to our geometrically oriented people. It's Me Defective says, does the triangle shaping make the flavoring better? Apparently, according to research. Gummy Cande says, is it just fine or pretty good? Good question. I said pretty good right in the beginning. I think it's just fine or between those two. I know that everybody wants an exact answer. I think the final answer here is it's going to be just fine. My question is why? You know, it's... I kind of wish I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in front of me, but it's not bad tasting. But it's a little bland, a little too much waffle. Okay, let's go ahead here and do our thank you song. This is a song I like to sing to the users of Henry's Kitchen. Not only the folks that run the Discord channel, but also the moderators, the technical advisors, the wonderful celebrity streamers who've given us audience at a very crucial time, and collaborations, and also the tier 3 subscribers. So Meteor 12 says, Henry, can you sing Freebird? I think I might be able to. If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? Maybe we'll do our thank you song to the tune of Freebird. That's probably the perfect usage for it. I want to get this thing straight though. Okay? Something like this. Let's put the reverbus on. Have a sip of our coffee. Fucking dingo, bop and Dumby. Hot Bear 1110, do dingle, dog goggle, Dr. Flanges and Bacchus. Shane, yes, Beelzebub, Mochi's Nirvana, it's Kate and Kairosa. Bumble Vision, the LGX, Chef Reactions, and Husky Boyo, and Bill Larkin, music in the toilet. Nim Moon Moon, Emaru, Orca Mind, S-Fan, and Bonnie too. Dazzle Cap, Blurry Little Quest, and don't forget Quanto and Beanie Bo Beanie. Dazzle Cat, Zodbane, and Toke My Nuts. Squirrel, Burrito 5555, Dinosaur, Ice Slap, Cat Buttons, Jamie's Takes, Sick the Boy, Beelzebub, Hand Lips 1, Caitlin's Kitchen. These Nuts, Game Master Flash, Mimsy Coon, the Cat Food Taste Tester, the Cheering Expo, Cheese Nirvana, Red Hot Hibachi, Ransom GR, Acid Test, and Michelle Happy. VCT, Purple Donut filling his fruit. Taggart and Borson, Blue Zodiac, Tone, Gary Busey, ASMR, and Lurk Bowl. Shannon, Snowflake, Larian, Mr. Gooseberry, BT, and Embry 225. Yarchasm, Nico Tazo, Michael Bublé 4422. Potato Cat Breeder, Passion, Aramin, Hoshin 64. Midnight Faded, JSBX Fan, and Acid Test. Pool Boy 789, and don't forget Quanto. Dumb Idiot 6996 says, Henry, let's play a show together. Okay. Shirley's Newt says, Henry, do you have a dramaturg on staff? What's that? Computer, what's a dramaturg?
According to Wikipedia, a dramaturge or dramaturg is a literary advisor or editor in a theater, opera, or film company who researches, selects, adapts, edits, and interprets scripts, libretti, texts, and printed programs, consults authors, and does public relations work.
I really don't, unfortunately. I'm sort of my own dramaturg. Meteor12 says, Henry, how's your relationship with Jose Suicidio? It's difficult. Jose Suicidio, when he does finally get off of his ass and get out of bed,
Delicious.
start working, it's good, but it's really hard to get him motivated. And there's been a lot of inner turmoil and infighting among the two of us. Shirley's Newt cheered 1,000 bits. Wow, thank you so much, Shirley's Newt. That's very generous of you. Thanks for doing that. And Danny Wonders subscribed for 19 months. Amazing. Okay. All right. Well, I think it's time for us to sign off here pretty soon. But I do want to do one more request. Our very own intern, Beanie Bo Beanie, requested... I thought I remembered seeing it. Requested the song Letter in the Mail, which was a song that I wrote many years ago. I think the message is still as true now as it was back when I wrote it in 2012 or something. But it seems a little bit like a timepiece, because physical mail and letters have sort of turned into digital mail, emails and whatnot. I just got a letter in the mail saying that I failed to pay my credit card in time, and that's a $40 fine, which would have been okay, except for that it caused me to exceed my credit line, and that's another $40 fine. Then I got another piece of mail. This one said the balance due was drawn from my checking account, which caused a bunch of checks to bounce, which would have been okay, except the fact that one of those checks was to the DMV for my registration fee. So the next day, is everyone there? Are we back? Refresh stream chat. Okay, we're back. All right, sorry everybody. I guess my internet just went off completely, and now it's back. So, where were we? Oh yeah, I was gonna finish the song here. So the next day I was on my way to work, and I couldn't find my car. It wasn't how they parked it just the day before, and then I want another. I'm reading the comments at the same time. Piece of mail. This one said the registration tags were out of date, so they had to tow my car away, which wasn't quite okay. I called them to explain. When I finally got through, they just made me wait on hold. After 40 minutes I hung up because I had to go to work. But then I realized if I don't have a car, then how the fuck am I gonna get to work? So I got fired from my job. So here I am living in a box underneath a bridge in this quiet little town, and I take a look around. Things are quite okay. I don't get any bills, and the best part of it is that I don't get any mail. Okay, everybody. Well, I want to thank the internet for cutting off in the middle of the song, which is probably one of the most difficult ways to do comedy or performing or just about anything. I think anybody would have had a problem with that. You know, I think Paul McCartney could have been singing Yesterday, and if somebody cut off the whole performance right in the middle of it, I think that would be a bad thing even for a Beatle. So I don't want to blame myself for that one. I blame whoever is responsible for internet here in my district or whatever. Okay, everybody. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. The internet break did give me a chance to have another one of my triangles. I didn't touch the triangle part. This is we're going to save for presentation, maybe if I have guests over the next couple months or something. But I will be eating this and enjoying it with my coffee. And I want to thank everybody for joining us here today at Henry's Kitchen. Thanks Parasitosis, and thanks Nancy Droodles, Saguaro Ooh, Purple Donut Filling His Fruit, Beanie Bo Beanie, Craft and Table. Says Paul McCartney is no Henry Phillips though. Yep, we both have very English names, but that's where the similarities end. Thanks Chamomile, thanks Official Shitter, Gumme Candy, thanks everybody, and I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will see you the usual time Sunday at noon Pacific time. Have a great rest of the week. Thanks, everybody.